Hi, I'm Victoria Givlin. Welcome to episode 8 of Charm Offensive with Pluripod with Matt Watterworth of No Cap Content and myself at Ascent Stories. Tune in, spoilers, and no ads.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome back. It's episode 8 of 9,
Episode 8 of 9.
which is insane. I can't believe it's almost over already.
Mm-hmm.
And we only just found out last week that it's getting a season 2. And sadly, that means we probably won't see we won't see season 2 until 27, I would imagine. This season was in production for a long, long time. Like they shot this for such a short length of show. It sounds like, I don't know the actual amount, but it sounds like they were in pre for maybe years, like building they built that whole neighborhood and then they shot maybe over the course of a year as well. And now we know that they were all over the world as well. And so anyway, this episode is called You Gotta Help Me.
Charm Offensive.
Charm Offensive. I am not all there today, but I will push through. Charm Offensive is, what do you think? Let's talk about the name of that episode. Why do you think it was named that?
Well, I definitely think it's because Carol was, she went from defense to offense, I'd say almost.
Mhm.
And she was being very charming in the way that she was winning them over, sort of. Like, for a while, she was pretending like she was getting distracted, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then eventually she admits, like, that I'm on the offensive. You know that I'm not going to stop. And they're like, we're aware.
Yeah. We wish you would.
We wish you'd stop. Yeah.
And I think that means that I have to raise my hand and say I was wrong, because I thought this was going to be a different show now. I thought it was not going to go down that road of Carol trying to save the world anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. Hashtag wrong.
I was there with you. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe she's going to change. But that just goes to show you, like, the great teamwork on the film making side and the production and the cast and crew again, because she had us. We were like, maybe she really is broken. Maybe she will switch sides.
Yeah.
But we start with Manousos.
Yes,
he's back.
Right.
He's alive.
This was an interesting opening shot too, because I thought I kind of felt like I was watching Dexter or something.
And the blood drops.
Yeah, and I should have known. Like, the last shot we saw was Manousos being picked up by the others via medvac helicopter of some kind. And then you'd probably be like, okay, now we're gonna see him waking up. But for me, I was like, oh, is this something sinister? Like, is there something bad going on here with this blood? I think it was blood dripping on the floor and or on someone's shoe or something.
Yeah.
But then I was relieved to see that it was Manousos waking up from what seems like it might have been a few weeks long coma, maybe.
Yeah, he was not a happy man. I mean, we knew that was gonna come. So yeah, they said that he was awake, he was alive, you're back. His infection was responding. He's gonna have to stay here for a little while. He's like, I'm leaving, I'm out of here, rips it all off, takes his, doesn't even get his pants on, just gets his hospital
Right,
gown.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And asks.
It takes a hostage.
Yeah, he does. He took a hostage and then asked them, as we talked about his redemption and his balance of the scales and believing that he's going to turn people back. He asks for the invoice for what it costs.
Yeah.
And they said it's free.
Yeah.
But then they knew what he was asking for. So pre the joining, it would have cost, about $8,000.
Right.
And then he takes the response vehicle, gets the written out itinerary, and leaves.
Yeah. I loved the, did you need an itemized receipt? And
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I do.
I do need that.
And even the signature of the doctor that gave.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then, and I didn't get it at first. And he's like, I owe this hospital this much money and plus one ambulance. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, he's taking an ambulance. Yeah.
I didn't get that either. I'm like, is he paying for the ambulance ride? Yeah. Is that the helicopter ride? I would have thought that was included. But yeah, then he takes
I'm really
response
curious.
vehicle.
How great would it be if this show goes to like season 5 and like in season 5 it's Manousos like going back home and like repaying all his debts that he made along the way, although he's already paid for most of them. But like if he returns that ambulance and everyone's like an individual again, who knows?
And if they'd remember that or not.
Yeah. And will we be alive then? It feels like it's forever. I can't believe it's gonna be so long. Anyway, that's fine.
Well, we're gonna have to find something that you and I can review between that time.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have any recommendations, let us know.
Yeah, I have some ideas.
Okay.
Are you a Game of Thrones? Do we talk about Game
I
of
love
Thrones?
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to finish House of the Dragon.
Ah, you're not caught up on Hot D.
No.
All right. That's the sorry, I don't.
Not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the internet has a mixed response around that show, but I'm enjoying it. I've enjoyed it almost entirely. Like I try not to apologize too much for this. Isn't a Game of Thrones podcast, but anyway, maybe we'll talk about this new The Hedge Knight show.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
That's right. We mentioned Stranger Things in the last one.
That's true.
It's
Yeah,
good to just kind of talk about what's going on.
We're not part of some singular collective that only has one thought, right?
No.
About Pluribus. We're not some joined humans who are, anyway. So
or are we?
So what happens next?
The intro and then Carol.
Yeah.
We're here with Carol. She's making juice juice for Zosia.
That's right.
Wondering if it's too sweet.
Yeah. I love these shots again. There are these Breaking Bad shots that are like sometimes like these macro shots, or sometimes they'll like have shot through the fridge, right? Like you'll see like the calendar on the fridge and we're looking through it. So this reminded me very much of a Breaking Bad shot when we were like in the jug, the juice jug, and seeing the swirling of the juice coming together. But yeah, then it's very awkward. Carol trying to figure out if she's made juice to Zosia's liking.
Yeah, she says normally she has to add more water. And she stares at her for that, and I'm not. But yeah, and
quite a bit of dialogue about which of course is this is the first time they've talked to each other in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So she's nervous.
And for Breaking Bad too, I've been watching it.
Have you?
Like I said, I've been watching it since the beginning. So I'm on season 4 already.
Amazing.
Yeah,
cool.
So I've been very much enjoying. Just finished like the Fly episode.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that episode.
And spoilers, obviously, but like Jesse just killed Gale.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
oh, that's so harsh.
Walter's buying a gun.
Gale's the best.
Gale was really cool.
Season 4. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just the end of season 3, and then you get shot. That's the last episode.
Right. Gotcha.
But okay, so back to this Zosia thing. Zosia and Carol are having juice, and then she says, that's a really nice O'Keeffe painting.
Yes.
And Carol's like, oh, I was going to return it. I was just keeping it safe. I was protecting it. There's lots of wild boars and beasts and buffalo that are out that could, destroy these paintings.
Right.
And Zosia agrees, of course. And then she says, we could protect the buildings for you.
Secure them. Yeah.
Yeah. And she said that she would like that.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
The official podcast, again, if you're not watching or listening to that show, not a video podcast, just audio. They were trying to shoot in the George O'Keeffe Art Gallery Museum, and they were told that they could only bring in 7 crew members and no lights. And so instead of shooting in it, they recreated it themselves. They built the entire museum to a T with the help of the museum, and it's a crazy story. You gotta listen to it. It's unbelievable.
Does that mean like even the painting is someone repainted that painting?
So from what I heard was the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum has a really high quality scan, I imagine, of all of her works, but that particular one, they gave them the high quality, high resolution file. They printed that file on a canvas, but then they had a big issue with the white. Apparently Georgia O'Keeffe's white was not like they couldn't recreate it properly. So they had to bring in another artist to try to like find that exact white.
Okay.
And then repainted the canvas print with the correct white. Anyway,
That's
but
cool.
yeah, it's crazy. The amount of work that went into the show is unbelievable.
Yeah. Again, the things that you don't even realize.
And you don't even know. Yeah, you can't
No.
even. Yeah, yeah,
But I love that stuff.
yeah,
That's what I really like about these sorts of
yeah.
podcasts is you learn that.
But they didn't. The interesting thing is, like, they didn't have to. They could have created whatever version of it they want. Instead, they replicated the museum,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually an interesting little bit of foreshadowing, given that Zosia and the others rebuilt Carol's favorite diner,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll get to.
Yes, yes. So then Carol mentions that she doesn't know what to talk about.
Right.
So there's just kind of this awkward silence, and then they decide that they're gonna just play a board game. And I thought this was really funny, right? And she's pulling them out. So anagrams, no.
Yeah.
You know all the words thanks to the 7 billion people you have in your brain.
Yeah.
Chess, even more so, no, right?
Victoria, this episode is where, for me, I don't know about you, finally getting some answers to some questions that aren't like necessarily important to like saving the world, but are important to how the others function. And this was one of them. Like, oh yeah, okay, so yeah, they do have every, every Scrabble champion, every croquet champion, in their brain. So yeah, hard to find a game that Carol can compete with.
Yeah, they ask for risk, and she said that's, world domination.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting too. Now, I'm not a huge chess player, I'll admit. And Zosia mentions you're missing the white rook.
Right. Yeah.
Does that mean anything?
Yeah.
Am I overthinking that? Does that mean something?
It does feel like it's pretty specific, but I just took it as a reminder that Zosia knows everything that Helen knew.
Yeah.
And also has a great memory, obviously. And yeah, but maybe it has some meaning. I don't know what it would be.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure Reddit has thoughts about it.
I'm sure. Yeah. And then Zosia says, would you like to play with your cousin? Like, we can get your cousin to come visit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And she's like, what? Well, aren't they just going to act and interact and think and engage just like you are?
Yeah.
And Zosia basically confirms. And she's like, well, I haven't seen him this long. It's basically fine. I don't know.
Really?
Maybe you'd have more players playing at the board game.
True.
But...
And it's not really going to be that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the others. So.
Then they play a card game called Spit.
Yeah, I've never heard of this game, but it looks fun.
I thought it was similar to a game of like war that I've played,
sure.
sort of. But yeah, she's playing.
Yeah.
Like, she has no other option but to play.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to matter, like, the intelligence or anything. That just seems to be like a luck of the draw of the cards. And it doesn't seem like she's counting cards or anything like that. Like, she's just playing the game.
For sure, yeah. And I like when Zosia is like getting into it and like is winning at times.
She was excited.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You actually, I think that's the most elated I've ever actually seen Zosia.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And the reality is you can't really play anything but a game of chance, I think, with the others, right? It's got to be luck of the draw sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carol asks Zosia if everyone is back in the city. And she says more or less, pretty much everyone will be here in the next couple hours.
Yeah.
And then when they're done their game, she tells Zosia she can leave.
Yeah.
Right? She's like, well, you can go now. I got other things to do. And she says, well, where do you live now? And Zosia confirms, well, we don't have any private property. We share everything. So
this was another amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
See how they sleep. Save resources.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we sleep wherever we hang our hat. We can show you. So they go to an arena because it's more efficient, and they all snuggle each other because it's, again, as a background actor, could you imagine being there? That
oh my God, what an interesting experience. Again, like, I don't think they were telling them too much about what the show was.
No.
So who knows what they thought. But I did have one, I don't know if it's a bone to pick, but I'm confused as to why there are so many of the others back in Albuquerque.
Well, because I think it's because Carol said to please come back.
Yeah. So who are they? What are they doing there? Because presumably there's a bunch of people, like, I guess, obviously, like, oh, Carol needs this thing or that thing. There's already been some people doing stuff for Carol somewhere hidden. flying drones, and I just don't know why there's so many of them, because presumably like they don't use Albuquerque now because they want to stay away from Carroll. I don't know. Maybe they're coming back to like get the resources and continue running that city in whatever way they do. We still don't quite know what they do, but we do know they have a mission. This is something new that hit the Carroll Whiteboard.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm jumping ahead, but they are working on an antenna.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, sending another space signal out to another planet to do the same thing, it seems. So,
Yeah.
did they really need to do that in the first place?
Well, who? Kepler 22b or are them? The Earth gem.
The Earth joining them.
Yeah.
Like if they needed to, if they've done to us what they're going to do to Kepler 22b, because B is the planet. I mean, I guess they could say it's because they're running out of resources.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's still like...
That's not the vibe I got. Like Zosia seems like it's purely about spreading the love of whatever this is.
Yeah.
And we may not even meet or see those people, but we're going to put it out into the world.
We're paying it forward.
For sure, yeah. But you could also view that as like we're taking over the galaxy.
Yeah.
Like it's weird.
It's the customer service feedback that we've been told for our whole life, that you're like, I hear what she's saying and it sounds really warm and fuzzy, but it's actually this woman wants to put a pen in my neck.
Right.
So, whenever I'd work with a few people that would get really, really sweet when they were angry, I was terrified.
Ooh, really interesting. Yeah. Huh.
Because you could just hear the seething in their voice. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, hi. Thank you so much.
God, I haven't run into someone like that in a while. I haven't seen that in a while.
Women are...
That's true, though, yeah.
It can be... It's not always women. Sometimes it's men.
For sure, of course.
But it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, she asks Zosia to power wash the words, so it can come off.
Oh, yes, right.
And then she mentions there's a dog that's at the arena when we fast forward there.
Yes.
And she said, well...
Bear.
So we learned here, because I was wondering if they were controlling
another
animals.
Big question is like, are animals part of it or not? Yeah.
And she says, no, they're not part of it. They're just attached to a certain human. And if the human host we've now taken over, we will take care of the pet.
Right.
Which is cute.
Super cute. And a nice way of being like, oh, so the pets are okay. They're still with their humans, at least. They may not know that they're different, but
I think that they would know in some capacity.
They probably would, yeah.
They're probably also still treating them well,
we know they care about life so much that they won't pick an apple, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're all sleeping in one room, and then Carol makes a joke about, like, so what is this? Like, gonna turn into a big orgy? And Zosia's like, well, if that's what you like.
Pretty straight-faced say, yeah, if you want.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
And Carol doesn't even really respond.
Yeah.
She just kind of
like,
oh, all right. Yeah, Bear Jordan.
Yes.
We take care of the pets. Would you like us to make a bed, Carol?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, no, I'll stay. Like, I'll go home. I'm not gonna be here. And then Zosia asks if she can lie down. She says, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then she lies down and cuddles with her and falls asleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned one other thing I want to, if you're not on the Reddit, I know we all take a peek, but somebody posted on the Pluribus Reddit that there's a satellite image of Carol's neighborhood, Carol's cul-de-sac, and you can still see some of the K in come back on in the circle from the satellite image, which is kind of interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah. Sorry, they go home.
That's okay.
Little detour.
Yeah. So they go home. Little detour. Would you like us to cook you breakfast? No, I can manage.
Yeah.
But she admits that she has a nice time. Then she goes to her board, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she adds a few other comments on the board that are pretty important.
Yep.
So obviously number 6 being they eat people, because you're like, oh, maybe she's warming up to Zosia and she's no. Then you realize that the charming offense is underway, right?
Yes.
They eat people.
Yeah, and Carol is still working on solving this. She's just coming at it from another direction, which is maybe I'll make friends with them.
Yeah. Because she did admit that there are characteristics to her that she actually likes.
Of course.
I like a
Yeah.
lot of things about you, Zosia. Yeah.
And who doesn't like having the entire restaurant to themselves and like the spa and like
Mm-hmm.
there are definitely pluses. Yeah.
Then they go hiking. It's hard to beat the view. Then they talk about trains
Yes.
and why she likes trains so much. So this was interesting. Zosia didn't know that she liked trains.
This was very cute.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
It was a cute moment.
Yeah.
She said, "What? I haven't told anybody in my entire life that I like trains?"
Yeah.
She's like,
Well, specifically train horns.
"Yes."
And you knew it was coming, but Zosia obviously made it so that the train tooted its horn.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It was this beautiful, like it was off in the distance and her reaction was really good. But she said it's the loneliest sound,
Mm-hmm.
which is very apropos to what she's experiencing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Apropos.
Yes. And then she gets hit with the reminder that they're transporting food in those trains.
Yes. Yeah, because she says, "Why do you even need trains?"
Yeah.
Well, for food distribution.
Right.
They eat people. Popped in her head.
Oh, yeah.
Saw that.
Reminder on
We
that.
saw that. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So then they're talking about like the body's electromagnetic field.
So yeah, again, we're learning more about how this works, how this joining happened, how they're all connected.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's sci-fi. We can't ask them to explain every scientific detail of it necessarily, but it feels like a little bit of a cop-out to be like, we don't know. There's a lot we don't know about it. I would argue that there's a lot we don't know about sleep. There's a lot we don't know about a lot of things in our reality right now. So I can give them some slack on the idea that like, well, it has to do with the electromagnetic force of our bodies, but we don't quite know how or why that is a thing.
Yeah. She explains how like some things are automatic and some things are not, and for them it is like automatically as their heart beats.
Yep.
This now is here, and they don't have to worry about it.
For sure.
But yeah, there's a lot we don't understand.
Yeah.
For sure. And then they cut to a really nice massage.
Yes.
That Carol and Zosia have.
What did you think about what Zosia was saying here about how she can feel?
Yeah.
It feels good, but she's massaging herself in a way.
Yes.
That was an interesting new thought about it that I hadn't considered, is like they still have individual experiences in each one of these bodies. How did you read this?
Yeah, that was interesting in that it was kind of that it seemed like they are in meditation. For example, like you see a feeling or you feel a feeling, and then you want to be the observer of the feeling and not let the feeling control you.
Right.
And that seems to be their idea, like this consciousness is reflection, because they were like, well, this guy just like killed himself in Bulgaria, or like stabbed himself in Bulgaria on a fence.
Yeah, right.
And she's like, oh, then yeah, don't you feel that pain? Doesn't that? And she's like, well, we observe it and we see it, and like he's in pain, but they seemed all right with it.
Well, he was also gonna make it.
Yeah, he was going
nice.
to make it.
But yeah, that was another interesting thing, that like, okay, they don't share in that pain. Although we haven't revisited the fact that they freeze when Carol gets angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, which I'd like to know more about too.
And she does explain, like, if everything everywhere was happening to her all at once and, like, they all experienced it, it would be too overwhelming.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
Which makes sense, but she also recognizes, like, there's got to be a radius or something to this, because she still knew when Carol got goosebumps.
Right.
Which means that's the other person massaging her that can feel the goosebumps, not Zosia. So, yeah, there's got to be something.
Right.
Like, I don't know, like you'd have to want to experience whatever it is that they're feeling. If they experience like that gentleman that had impaled himself, they're like, I don't want to do that. So then they just don't. But if they want to make sure that Carol is happy, then they're paying attention to what they're feeling to Carol, even if it's not Zosia.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what the power of that is, but that's kind of her showing that she does know, though.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I'm not sure. Maybe that's her being kind of on the offense.
Right. Yeah.
But Yeah, then we jumped to the telescope.
Ah, the telescope.
Yep.
This was a very interesting moment as well.
Yeah, and she's having a hard I couldn't tell if she was like feigning seeing Kepler and Kepler 22b,
Yeah.
but she said there's a lot of light pollution, so she shows maybe that's what they need all the people in the arena for because they turn all the lights off.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that freaked her out a little bit.
Right.
Um,
I mean, I assume they're still leaving the city on for Carol. Like,
yeah.
she just would feel weird if the lights weren't on.
Mm-hmm.
And they care about her so much that they will do that for her. But yeah, it is kind of nice to be able to like I don't know if have you ever gone out to the planetarium? There's a planetarium south of the city,
Yeah.
and yeah, light pollution is a challenge. It is a problem, and so how cool would it be to just be able to, oh yeah, can we just turn off the city, so we can see the sky a little bit better? That would be nice.
I mean, it definitely kind of gives you a bit of that God complex again, doesn't it? Like the
Yeah,
snap of your fingers and everything in the whole city shuts down.
totally. Yeah,
Like,
believable.
yeah, I mean, it seems like these guys are kind of coming in as like a God particle or a God consciousness
Right. Yeah.
sort of thing, right? The holier than thou.
Yeah.
And then our Manousos fellas, like, no, like you're the serpent. You're not, if we're following the Christianity side of things.
Interesting. Okay.
Not to say that that is, well, he's Christian.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting how that happens.
But you were saying that Carol is maybe faking, like, the enthusiasm about seeing it.
Yeah, I felt like when it came to the stars specifically, like I could be wrong again. She could be doing a great acting job,
Right.
but to me it seemed like I don't know, feigning like help me, like I can't see it, I don't understand. There's so many things in the dark, like
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
kind of playing a little dumb blonde, and she could maybe not be. That's the acting. I'm not sure. That's how
Right.
good she's playing, but
Right.
it's just like, oh, I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I think she's definitely playing some games, and she's, because the whiteboard gives us some insight into what she's really thinking, and she's very smart, right? I think Carol's very smart and is exploring what happens if I take a different approach here. And this is one, like, okay, they want to help me, let them help me.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can learn from that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they talk about, if there's people on Kepler 22b, and I'm pretty sure she confirmed that there is, but it's mostly like an ocean planet.
Yeah, and that was, for a moment there, I was like, oh, is this a new revelation? But no, we know someone built that antenna that sent the message to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So we know there's some intelligent life out there somewhere and obviously they're also joined because they have, they're sending out the same code that our Earth others are going to send out. So yeah, it wasn't like a big realization or a big discovery that there's alien life. We've known that, but hearing it from the others was new.
Yeah, especially because she kind of talks about, we're going to pay it forward. We're going to share our gift. This is what we're going to do with whoever's out there.
Yeah.
So that tells us that you're not just trying to play Risk with Earth. You're trying to play your own version of Galactic Monopoly.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
And then we learn that they're building an antenna to shoot into space to make that happen, right? And then she asks about if she's writing the new 5th book, the Vicario.
Right? Yes.
And she seems, again, genuinely excited. We're excited to have something new to read.
Totally. Yeah, that was an interesting comment that Carol didn't ask more about, but it must be exciting to read something new, because when you don't have anyone writing anything new or creating any new entertainment, you already know it all. You've already seen it all. You have literally every single piece of content, except for maybe stuff that was made by people who were dead, and you could go back to, like, historical documents or older, really old books. But even then, many people have read them who were alive. So you'd have lots of, anyway, it's one of those rabbit holes you can go down with this concept. But yeah, I think there was genuine excitement about having something new to read.
And I think it's also interesting, too, because if you have taken over the world's best polo players, the world's best swimmers, the world's best artists of any kind.
Yeah.
You're still telling us, though, that you're not getting anything new, which means even though you've taken over the capacity to be able to physically do this, you don't have the spiritual component that actually creates it.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's huge.
For sure.
That's, again, what sets you apart.
Totally. I mean, that's the different, that speaks to the whole free will conversation, right? The individual free will versus the collective free will. Because it's not necessarily true to say, well, humanity has lost free will. It's just that they've become a singular free will.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah. Not that that's okay.
Yeah. So we see when she gets back to the board here, there's been some good discussion about whether or not that first board that she has about her story with Raban is a reflection of what she's going to do here.
Right.
So it says on that board briefly, it says Battle of Wits. So I saw that and I was like, okay. And it said unison as well in there. So I thought that was interesting.
I have been meaning to like zoom in on that whiteboard. I haven't done that.
It happened fast and then I didn't go back to it. But I saw the Battle of Wits and I was like, all right. And then it cuts to lawn golf, right?
Yes.
Croquet.
Croquet. Yeah.
Yeah. So Carol tells Zosia not to patronize her. And she's like, we know how good you used to be at this sort of thing. And then, so she learns this. She says, well, we have the combined knowledge of everything. And she's like, yeah, well, I understand that intellectually you do, but this is a muscle memory thing. How do you possibly have the capacity to do that?
Right.
And she doesn't answer. She says, maybe.
Right, yeah.
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
Am I dumb? Tell me if I'm dumb. But
not dumb. It's not dumb.
Well, this might be a dumb question. But is muscle memory a real thing? Like I know that we get our body gets used to certain actions. Like if you are a great bowler or a great skier, your body definitely learns certain behavior and definitely like you become better at it. But isn't it really in the brain anyway? Like isn't it all still or is there something that I don't know about that is truly like, oh no, like it, muscles contain the flexibility or you train for it and your body becomes built for it. Maybe I don't know if
I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
But I studied a few things. So I studied stunts and I participated in stunts and martial arts and stuff.
Yeah.
And like anything, the repetition is supposed to happen enough that like there's two responses. There's the automatic one and the one that's not. So like the one that does it involve me needing to know to move the microphone or to throw a punch? Like, do I have to remember to put my left hand up, block here, like have my stance, throw it this way, whatever it might be? Do I have to consciously tell myself to do this? Or have I put it into my body hundreds of thousands and millions of times that now if something happens, it just responds without me thinking about it?
Right.
And where I see good examples of that was when it came to things like gymnastics or volleyball or stunts. So what a great example is falling. So when I'm falling and I'm not ready for it, if I don't have any knowledge of training of how to fall, then it's going to really hurt.
Right.
But have I trained falling enough that when I fall, before I even realize that I've caught myself, at least in a way that is safer?
Right.
And that's what I find that I've talked to kinesiologists and exercise physiologists about is they're like, we need to react in a way that like we can be as strong as we want, but if we're not as nimble and as flexible and as balanced, then it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So I do believe there is muscle memory.
Yeah.
And
like it's about overriding your automatic response to.
It's about not even like like when you same with teaching a child to like touch a stovetop, not do that, right? So they don't know that. They're going to put their hand on it, they're going to hold it there, and then they're going to let go.
Right.
But your nerve signals are firing so fast that hopefully it doesn't, if it has to reach your brain and then go back to your hand, you're holding it longer. If it just goes, oh, that's hot.
Right.
Your brain hasn't caught up yet, but your hand knows.
Right.
There is like a little brain in each of your like main center.
Oh.
pieces, as far as I know. Like there's a little bit of a intellect.
Like your nervous system.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Okay. That's good to know.
So
Very cool. All right.
fascinating.
All right.
But she didn't confirm. She didn't like.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
like, you've got how many porn stars' bodies that you've accumulated, or gotten how many professional athletes. Like, can Zosia just start like jumping 6 feet?
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean? I want to see.
Yeah. That's
Because she knocked it right through the
that was
croquet.
incredible. Yeah.
And, she's asked her, like, did you ever play? And she's like, well, no. Like, Zosia didn't play.
Right.
It could have been a good shot, but she could also have someone's muscle memory. And they do lie by omission. And she played and said, maybe.
This is true.
So,
but they did say they have every living croquet champion's, knowledge, which is going to help you understand like weight of the club versus impact versus weight of the ball versus distance. There's definitely when
you're doing physics calculations.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like just like someone playing like curling or any sport that involves physics is going to learn the intricacies of and the differences between like, oh, this ball weighs this much or this. Like you become aware of it, maybe not from like a calculus perspective, but certainly from just a practice perspective.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe from a calculus perspective.
Sometimes
got all the calculus brains.
Sometimes, yeah, so true. Yeah, that's a good point. You've got the combination of it all.
Yeah. And then they put on the banner, "You suck, Carol."
That was so good.
That was funny.
Loved that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Carol's like, "I'm gonna beat all 7 billion of you." Yeah.
And I was like, Carol needs her own non-Zosia other who can do that kind of thing for her, like so she can fight back.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be very funny. Then Zosia asks what her best day writing was.
Yes, this is a good question.
And Carol says that, have you ever talked to a writer?
There are no good writers.
There are no.
Got writers in there.
Yeah. And that's funny because Zosia tosses back at her again. Oh, poor tortured Horace. So, as a poor tortured heartache, I'm like, I get it. We get it.
Yeah. For sure.
But we do enjoy it's a labor of love.
Always, of course.
So then Carol says, but why are you asking? And then they take a drive to that diner. Right? So they take her to the diner.
This was amazing.
It all started here.
Yeah.
And then she goes, yeah, I really like this shot too, again, because she explains, oh, yeah, I remember sitting here. I could sit here all day. And the waitress's name was, and then she came by.
Mm-hmm.
And she let me sit there. Don't worry. No need to rush, honey. I've got you.
Yeah.
And she's ready to, because it shows again that they're trying to get her to write the book. They want her to finish that.
Oh, I didn't think of that part. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Because they want her to write again. They want her to they really want to read something new.
Or do they just want her to forget about the fact that yeah.
Because she loved that diner.
Of course.
And she loved that waitress.
She was in heaven.
Yeah.
And she didn't even put together that it had burnt down until she sort of settled in. And that they had rebuilt it and that they had brought this waitress from Miami to be there just for her to experience that again. Which on one level feels so kind and nice and what an amazing gift, but also feels manipulative. And Carol went through both of those emotions as she processed all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also see a moment too where Carol was genuinely happy, where she was like, I really miss the days where I used to work all night and write in the morning.
Yeah.
And then, she gets upset and she gets up and she leaves.
Yeah.
And Zosia doesn't understand.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand at all why she's leaving.
There were cars going by.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't help but like think like, oh, well, is that just regular traffic? Like, is that just like in the world that we're in when they're shooting that film, that show, were those actors driving those cars? Were those stunt drivers or was it just Albuquerque traffic doing its thing? Because in the world of the show, all that traffic was just to help her feel normal because they don't need to drive anywhere. Presumably,
you never saw any pedestrians or drivers or anything.
Yeah. And then you see in the reflection of the glass when she leaves, she like all the cars kind of stop because they let her through. Yeah, interesting.
It is. So then we have, the evening time. Carol's having a long drink by herself.
Mm-hmm.
And Zosia shows up again. And she goes inside. And she says, you left us quickly. Are you all right? She says, peachy. And she notices the sarcasm. So I don't think the others can do sarcasm either.
I don't think. Well, I don't think they. I think they can do it. I think they
Yeah.
choose not to do it, and
Mhm.
they definitely were too naive to understand it at first. But now they seem to understand it, which is confusing because lots of sarcastic people in that 7 billion. I'm sure.
Yeah. So this was interesting too because Zosia was responding with "We feel bad, we're sorry," and then Carol. This is where we see a little bit of true Carol again. She says, "Would it kill you to say I
Mm.
in a singular person, sort of thing?" So she says that it's odd semantically, but she stumbles a bunch, but she tries, right?
Yeah.
And then of all the brains of the world, you can't navigate a pronoun.
Right.
That's yeah.
Kind of an interesting comment on reflective comment on today's society.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And then so she explains like where was the waitress when she died?
Mm.
I wanted to know. You dragged her back to waitress theater sort of thing.
Yeah.
You wanted to distract me, you wanted to manipulate me, you wanted to tell me uh but and Carol admits I'm not going to give up. You have to know that I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Zosia says, "Yeah, no, we know.
Yeah, we know that too. Yeah.
We know that."
Yeah.
But you can tell that she's like, we were kind of hoping.
Yeah.
We were kind of hoping that
Yeah. Yeah.
you would change your mind.
Yeah.
Um,
And so was I. I thought the show was going to go down this other direction of like, because they did tell us about this big problem the others are having, which is that they're all going to mostly die out in 10 years.
mhm.
So maybe that was where the show was going to go. Maybe Carol was going to help and Kumba and everyone, every individual was going to sort of help get them saved in some way.
Well, maybe that's why they're talking to Kepler B planet.
Yeah, well,
Right.
they can't talk to them.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not until this antenna might be built.
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah.
And then she can try to.
But in the first episode, the scientists were saying it would have to be like an antenna the size of Africa, which is, I guess they can
They've
do.
got 7 billion people that can make it.
They can. I'm sure they can. Yeah.
They just need, like 100,000 between the 13 of them, so they
Yeah.
can all feel safe still. Carol admits, like, honestly, I like you. There's many parts about you, but it is a train wreck. This is kind of like psychosis.
Mhm.
What you've done. You've pulled this waitress who stopped being a waitress and she was a newlywed, right? She found a new job, and then you just dragged her over here.
Yeah.
Someone has to make this right.
Yeah.
And then they kiss each other.
Right.
They kiss each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what's happening? Because I was like, are they gonna, because at the beginning of the season, episode 1, they're kissing. And I'm like, wait. Because this could be like the takeover.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, at that moment, it wasn't. And they said they would need her consent. But I mean, if they already have her stem cells and they make out with
There
her.
is that. Yeah. We didn't get any information on that theory.
No.
And in fact, I wondered when Manousos was on the table at the very beginning if they were
I thought
pulling some stem cells.
blood and samples from the lab. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, no, it's Manousos.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I thought it was starting to.
Yeah.
They sleep together. Zosia wakes up.
Yes.
Like they do the horizontal dancing.
They hooked up.
Yeah, they hooked up. And then Zosia's still, this was interesting. Zosia was asleep and she didn't notice when Carol got up.
Yeah.
Carol's been up for a while and
Yeah,
she wrote the chapter.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And oh man, it's so interesting. Carol is like simultaneously so angry and upset about the situation, but also obviously falling in love with Zosia, which is very, very conflicting, right?
Yeah.
Very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But certainly speaks to the fact that now Raban is going to become female in the book.
Yeah. So she asks if she wants to read chapter 1. She says, "Don't leave me hanging." And she admits, like, Raban is a woman. And she's like, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah. I don't have an audience anymore who's going to respond.
That I
can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah. And she says, how do you feel about it? And Zosia mindfully responds, I love it.
Yes.
Not we love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe love is the key. Maybe love is how Carol will. It is, yeah. That's always the solution.
Yeah. Love is all you need.
It's true.
It's
Interesting.
true. Then we cut a bunch of days later. I'm not sure how many days to mind you. I don't recall seeing numbers prior to this.
Yeah.
I didn't write it down, but we're at 60 days.
Yeah.
So Zosia and Carol are now still living together at this point.
Yeah.
I'm presume she hasn't left.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
as far as we know.
Right.
So Carol
There was a shot, I forget where it is, where we're seeing Carol. She's at the kitchen.
This is right where it is.
Is this where it is?
Looking at Helen's grave.
Yeah, and we see in the reflection Helen's grave.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's some language. What does she say there? Because there's definitely some language that was like, oh yeah, this is confusing because it's only been 60 days since she lost Helen. That's kind of a fast turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a complicated subject, right? Like,
Deeply so, yeah. Because of course she's desperately lonely. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't even, she would have an option to have them as friends if that's what she wanted.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
She'd admitted like 4 episodes earlier that she's attracted to her for sure.
Right.
With her truth serum.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
But yeah, it is.
You can say
little...
fuckable, it's fine.
It is a little... Yeah.
We don't have sponsors. This is an ad-free episode.
No,
so
it's true. It's always an ad-free episode, which is fun. Oh, yes. So now Carol is trying to learn more about who Zosia was as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not them, not we, not the joining, Zosia.
Right.
So she's making her omelets and she says, do you like omelets? And she says, we like omelets. Of course we do. She's like, no, Zosia.
Right.
Did Zosia like omelets? And because we like all breakfast cereal. No.
We didn't actually get a lot of opportunity to have omelets, which I thought was interesting. Or
Zosia, yeah. So Zosia, I think, again, it shows you a bit about her economic circumstance because eggs are expensive.
For sure.
So,
the country she came from did not appear to be the most wealthy.
No, yeah. So she didn't have the chance. And then she asks what Zosia's favorite food was. And Zosia's favorite food is high up there on one of my favorite foods. Mango ice cream.
Yeah.
I love mango sherbet. I can't do the ice cream, but mangoes.
It's delicious, but also
we have to eat mango ice cream now.
But we
do. I should have brought mango ice cream.
Sherbet.
Yes, I love
sherbet or sherbet.
I see.
Sorbet.
Sherbet.
Thanks, Cole.
Yes.
Sure. Let's do that.
Yum.
Let's party.
Yay.
I'm just realizing the last episode is on Christmas, I think.
It is.
So I don't know when
and I leave the 27th, so we got to film Boxing Day.
And we'll find something. I'm going to be in Edmonton for some of it, but we'll figure it out. There's a great story about how did you know what country she's from?
I don't recall.
There's a conversation about how her country like opens up to trade at some point when she was a kid. And all these new flavors are now available from the guy who would give them ice cream bars and knew that they were poor and would give them...
Didn't have 2 pennies to put together.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful little story, actually.
It is a beautiful story. And it shows you more about who Zosia was.
100%.
And you can see Carol's enjoying that for sure. And she says, thank you for sharing, And Zosia, at this point, this was really interesting because I was like, is the joining angry at Zosia for saying this? Because she blanks here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, you have a visitor, which we presume is Manousos.
Right.
But we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, she does that freezing thing and like...
I thought she was...
sorry, not freezing. Not the freezing, like... But she was like, just, yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't seizing, but she was frozen there.
She was, yeah. Like, in that she's like just processing information that she's getting from the hive mind.
Yeah, I thought the hive was freezing her. I thought they were upset with her for a second. I thought, because...
Well, that would be new behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there... Because there's no individuality, right? So Zosia is not making choices separate from the group, but yeah, that's an interesting thing.
She's reliving her individuality.
Yes. Oh, I see. You were thinking like, wait, is the hive mind being like, no, you're slipping into individuality. Yeah. Interesting.
You're falling a little bit into who Zosia, because
interesting.
Maybe, I have no idea, but maybe that's how you could try to start to bring them back. Like if it's a consciousness battle, right? And their consciousness is locked back there somewhere, and they're trying to hit. You see that in movies sometimes where like an alien takes over or something, and they're looking behind their own eyes. Something else is taking.
Maybe that's happening. You don't know if that's a thing for all of them.
Yeah,
and I think you have a point there because because Manousos isn't like around the corner.
No.
He's still days or weeks away
Yeah.
from getting to Carol. And so why is it that that has to happen? That information has to be relayed now.
I don't know.
They've known that Manousos is on his way for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. Yeah, I think that's worth
Right?
considering. That might have been a good little flag,
Interesting.
depending on how things go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so we end with Manousos
Yes.
pouring the rubbing alcohol on his back.
Yes.
And
he says, okay, like he's prepping himself for it. And somehow creates a bandage for his back that he can then wrap around himself. It was very clever, actually.
It is very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, showing you that he wants no help.
Totally.
None.
Totally. Yeah. He was pissed to discover that he had help suddenly when he woke up at the beginning of the episode.
And he'll take it, but only if he knows that he'll be paying them back.
Right, exactly. And he's trying not to go deeper into debt,
Yeah. It's expensive.
He does, I don't know how much money.
Paying for the gas on the way up here.
He works at a storage facility. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he drives off, right? He drives off into the sunset, and that's not sunset, but it actually looked like he was in Albuquerque. He looked like he was in New Mexico.
Yeah.
There's a sign that said he was going into Mexico, though. I think. So he's getting close. And it's funny, on the official podcast, they talked about how they were all over South America shooting and scouting and looking for locations. And there were times when they were like, this looks like Albuquerque. Like there are places that just like look like Albuquerque, New Mexico in that area. And so they had to intentionally not use places that looked similar. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Location scouting. No.
Oh man,
that looks too much.
This
like
was
Albuquerque.
This was a massive process, and like they went all over South America. It sounds pretty amazing. Cool job to have.
And very cool job.
Just be touring around looking for sweet locations.
Yeah. So from the filmmaker's perspective, what moments did you really like from this episode?
I mean, so whenever we talk about like a horror movie or a sci-fi movie or a thriller, anytime there's something that exists outside of our natural world. If a story is taking place where you're saying, hey, here's something that isn't part of reality, we're going to explore this element, whether it's a monster or some kind of sci-fi concept. I love rules. I love to know, okay, cool. I'm excited by this concept. Oh, it's a body swap movie, or this killer is being possessed by some whatever. I don't like when a movie or TV show creates rules and then breaks those rules. Looking at you, Walking Dead, all the time. But
shots fired.
Exactly, yeah.
Double tap.
So I don't have.
Do you like Zombieland?
Love Zombie.
That is one of my favorites.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing, yeah. Cardio.
Yeah.
But the thing about this show is it hasn't really told us many of the rules, which is okay.
She's determining the rules on the whiteboard.
100%. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I super enjoyed this episode because I've been desperately wondering things like, are animals part of this? What are they doing? What are they up to? What are they working on?
Where are they going at night?
Yeah. How do they do their day to day? Like, yeah, totally. So there was so much about this episode I loved, just from a like relaying information perspective. And as much as that doesn't sound like a filmmaking thing, I think it super is, because it's actually, and not to like, there's incredible cinematography, there's incredible technical work, there's incredible producing happening on the show. None of that is easy, but it is doable. Whereas storytelling is the toughest thing. Like setting up a camera and getting a beautiful shot is not easy, but it is learnable. Like it's almost like being able to run a 5-minute mile or something. Like it's possible if you work at it. With storytelling, it's ephemeral. It's not as easy to know if something's going to work. Sometimes something works with one movie and then the same concept doesn't work in another. We just don't fully understand. Like, there's definitely some story structure and some things we can follow, but this is a story that is going outside the lines, right? We're definitely playing in a sandbox that we don't see a lot. And so you have to give an audience some structure, and rules are a way to do that. And frankly, I think they've done an incredible job of like dripping it out over the course of the season. This was like, whoa, we got like it was like a special treat episode because we got to learn a whole bunch of new things. And being that it's the episode before the finale, I think that's probably to prime us for something important that's going to happen.
A big mic drop
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped. I am ready now to see the last episode. And I mean, it's so interesting how just like everybody says that, oh, we had such a good time making this and everybody had a good time. And let's be honest, it's not always fun. It's not always good. People don't always get along. But boy, do I ever believe, listening to the podcast and seeing the work that they do, that they have a team, and they've been doing it for 15 years since they started with Breaking Bad. They've been, I'm sure, refining that team and finding who's the best fit for every role. And I think they have a really special working relationship that's happening. Not that I know enough about it, but when you hear them talk about it, I believe them. I don't think they're just saying that it was so fun working with this person.
That does happen.
I think yeah,
it does happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think they genuinely do have they've figured out their team. And when you have a great team that's really, really wants to be there for each other, and like, if you're going to put that much work into building the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, we're going to work just as hard over in our department because we're all here to make sure that this is as great a thing as it can be. And I think this is a special show for that reason. I think it's a special piece of content that we don't get a lot or enough. And so I'm excited to see more. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing to see, like, individuals doing what they really love at the best of their ability.
Yes.
As a group.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's like my favorite thing. Seeing, it's so cool as an individual, and it's even better together.
Totally.
So it's really neat.
For sure.
As a bit of a ADHD jump, my brain's been like, Zosia's. So Carol wrote a chapter that has Robon being a woman, and we've already shown that Robon is basically Zosia.
Yes.
So Carol's admitting to the world now
that
she's in love with Robon.
Right. So true.
Which is Zosia.
After they finally get together.
Yeah.
The morning after. Yeah.
She writes the chapter.
Yeah. So do you think that was Carol manipulating Zosia? Or do you think it was her actually feeling this new love, or maybe both?
I feel like it's both. I feel like at this point it's a toxic relationship between the two of them.
That's true.
And no one's really completely healthy or completely, the circumstances are extreme.
Yeah.
So, they picked Zosia specifically because they knew her preference.
Yes.
So,
which is manipulative on their part.
Manipulative.
Yeah, for sure.
But there does seem to be a genuine excitement and happiness in her actually playing the card game and actually playing croquet and like teasing her and stuff like that. So who knows? I think it's both.
Yeah.
But
very good episode. Great recap, by the way. Really appreciate you taking those notes. It makes a big difference for us. And I guess tell us where can we find you on the internet?
On the interwebs, you can find me at Givlin, VIIGAVLIN on Instagram, or my production company Ascent Stories. That's on Instagram or Facebook, and the website too, .com, ascentstories.com. So yeah, and what about you?
I'm at Matt Watterworth on pretty much everything, and you can go to mattwatterworth.com to find more stuff about me. And
Pluripod.com.
Yeah, and keep an eye on the social media because we got to do something new after this. We got to go to a new show or talk about something new, so we'll have to figure out what we're doing next.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate creating with you. I have a lot of fun.
Right back
I think
at you.
we do some cool stuff as a group.
Yeah.
And thank you for being here. And
one more episode. Join us for the final episode next week.
The final episode. Gotta eat mango sorbet, sherbet.
Yes. Sure, that'll be the snack you bring next time.
Yeah, yum. Awesome.
All right. See ya.